hype. And our First Take fam, they're pretty fired up right now because joining us is the man who succeeded Nick Saban in Les Miles and took LSU to a national championship, won it there in 2007.
I didn't hear a word she said.
Les, I just congratulated you on having a national championship and saying how much the crowd loves you. Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. I look forward to being on First Take.
Absolutely.
Good.
to have you.
We love it. Come back soon. We want to talk about your future, though. You were let go after your 12th season as head coach at LSU. What's next for you? Because we miss you in those post games, especially.
Yeah, what a terrible group of post-game collections you have there.
Right.
I want to coach football.
Okay.
I'm trained. I understand the game. I want to coach football. I want to help a group of men, push in the same direction, have a goal, be a team. That's me.
You won 77% of your games at LSU, won a national title. I think you went like 114 and 34 in your career there from 2005 to this year. But when you walked out the door, when LSU decided to make a change, people looked at you and they said, he wouldn't listen. He wanted to do things the old conventional way, and he just didn't adapt to the way the game was being played in today's generation. Answer that for us. Do you believe that's an accurate description of what transpired with you at LSU?
No. What we did is we attacked a style of defense in a traditional way, and we attacked what the defense gave us, we attacked appropriately. Let me give you an example. The spread formation, as Tebow was talking about, has taken over football. 3 wides and H-back really was the formation that we spent most of our time in, period. Now, what should we have improved and addressed some of our passing? You betcha. But that's the piece. Not the style of football is very, very. You saw it. You saw a lot of it last night.
Coach, how much is it that as much success as you had tremendous success, you were replacing a guy who's had, in recent years, more success than maybe anyone ever. So inevitably, it's like a coach replacing Belichick on the Patriots or something. It's a standard that seems very difficult to be compared to, even with as much success as you had. How much of it do you think is not being that guy?
Yeah, I honestly have never really focused on that. It's very difficult for me to see it that way.
Sure.
As soon as I came to LSU, it was my team, my guys, and we approached it, together. And but if you had to follow a guy, and if you wanted to play to great expectations, that would be the guy you want to follow.
So you wanted to follow it because
I had
of the
no
standard.
problem following Nick Saban without question, because the standard was high. We stepped into Tiger Stadium, and there was to be 100,000 people plus, and they would figure that you were fixing to wear somebody out, and I liked that, because they wanted what we wanted. We wanted to. That team took the field for the Tigers, preparing to win, and that crowd was of the same mind. So I enjoyed that. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be at a place that had great expectations.
Let's stick with Nick Saban for a second, because I almost make the claim that he's kind of ruined the SEC because he's been so dominant in recent memory that the allure, the mystique that the SEC has once had is now being challenged by the ACC and other conferences. But he lost last night. And losing last night to Clemson, I'm wondering if at all do you feel this could potentially have a negative impact on him in terms of it's not just about Alabama anymore. It's going to be about other schools because the dominance that Nick Saban has displayed has somewhat been compromised with this loss.
No, I think there's a I think what you have to do is you have to be strong to win that game, offense, defense, and special teams. I think that really that's what the Clemson Tigers showed. They played well in all 3 phases, got a block, punt, and special teams. But I think Nick Saban puts a bar, and I think that he has a very high level. I don't think it's about Alabama, never have thought it was about Alabama. But when they're in the game, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get great defense. You're going to get a back that can run it. I think when Scarborough left, I think that made a difference in the game. I don't know if it made the difference, but it certainly it changed the game for the Alabama team. And if you have a quarterback that can throw it, and as you develop a freshman or two freshmen, I think they will. I don't know that you're going to have to, that anybody can turn their eyes away from Alabama just yet. I think they're going to be a team that is going to be a factor year in and year out.
Coach, you said that you are a coach. That's what you want to do, get a group of guys pulling in the same direction and everything. But there are articles today about the kind of media personality that you might be, et cetera. And I notice with coaches, even when they still have the itch, they can slide into that media role, and it's so much less taxing, and it can get to be kind of a very kind of comfortable way. And then you see them later on get offers to coach again. A lot of times they don't take them. Are you afraid at all of that happening to you, or is that something you want to happen? Where are you with all that?
Well, I think people grow into things, and if I enjoy coaching, that is my first, that's the first view. But if what you guys do is relevant. I mean, I want you to know something. I listen to you. I want to hear what you have to say. It's important. It's a passionate opinion that you guys bring to the air. And so I, like the people that are standing in the back here, certainly I have interest. I don't know where I fit in that. I know where I fit as a coach. I can coach at the very highest level. I know we can win championships, and that's me.
So with that being said, what kind of a job would you be interested in taking? I'm thinking about, and let me preface my comments by saying this. I'm thinking about a Lane Kiffin who was an offensive coordinator at Alabama, and you going to Florida Atlantic. No disrespect, but come on. I'm thinking about Charlie Strong, Louisville, Texas. Nothing wrong with South Florida. Jared did a great job here, but at the same time, you think South Florida is not the same as Texas or Alabama or something like that. Les Miles was at LSU in the SEC. So what kind of job suffices for somebody of your cachet, considering the resume that you were able to build over years?
Well, certainly there are the top division school that can play for a championship year in and year out. Certainly that I fit there. But here's what you do when you sign up for coaching. Here's what you do. You say, hey, listen, I'm going to take a group of guys and make them better. I'm going to take what I have and improve and direct and pull together, and there's an enjoyment with the process. I enjoy the grind. I enjoy coming in early. I enjoy seeing guys that are working hard, and it's it's a part of my culture. It's a part of the culture of the teams that I've coached. We like to work hard. We approach the game in a matter-of-fact way, and we figure that we're going to win.
Is there an appeal, an added appeal to going to a program, being the head coach of a program that's not considered a powerhouse, and building them into a powerhouse?
One of the greatest credentials that I had was when I was with Bill McCartney, who took over after a coach that was completely defeated and really built a bowl team. Okay, and then after I left and went to Michigan, they won the national championship. I really felt like that was a tremendously satisfying experience at Colorado. I had a similar experience at Oklahoma State, a team that was not currently winning, that really, we started winning on a regular basis, and Mike Gundy's done a tremendous job thereafter. I think that those are significant memories for me and things that I would enjoy. So I guess what I'm saying to you is it's easy to take a top-tier school. That's easy. But the opportunity to coach and to take a school that gives me a chance to win a championship, I like that too.
But your attitude seems to be a little bit different than what college football is trying to say. Some would argue that college football has gotten to a point where it's all about the Power 5 conferences, because that's what you're talking about, competing for a national championship. And I can't imagine somebody like you who's at LSU in a position to compete for a national championship so many years would want to go to a place where you could have an excellent season. You could finish 13-1 and no one is thinking about you being in the picture for a national championship championship based solely on the fact that you're not at a Power 5 school. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I understand that. I don't know that that makes that doesn't make the decision. In other words, the decision is the quality of people that you're working with, the environment, the expectation. You know, it's more than it's a Power 5 school or not. Okay, and I think it's easy to say yes to a Power 5 school. I think it's easy to say yes to a school that has won championships, and I think it's an interest to whether or not I can fit in at another level.
Let me switch gears back to last night's game. You and I were talking before you came on the air, and you sat up there and said that Deshaun Watson and that performance that he put on, maybe, just maybe, this is a reason why the Heisman Trophy should be, voted on, after the postseason. After the postseason. Could you talk about that?
Agree. I had my eldest daughter who wants to sit in your chairs eventually. She's been telling me for about 3 weeks now, the Heisman should be voted on after the biggest game of the college career of the season. And what we had as a country, we were enjoyed what was one of the finest collegiate national championship games that we've ever had. And how unfair it is for a guy like Deshaun Watson, who really dominated the game and stepped back on the field again and again, cool, poise, and take his team down the field for victory. Didn't have a chance to win the Heisman.
Agreed.
It's a shame. Coach, as far as your future options are a good problem to have, we'll be rooting for you. In the meantime, you're always welcome here. And your daughter, too. She wants to come check it out. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Coming up next, the drama continues with the New York Knickerbockers. Derrick Rose is MIA. What is going on? We'll break it down and discuss his future when First Take from Tampa returns.